Welcome to episode 3 of Sue's World. We bring you once again to the Lincoln house, where the family is sleeping through the night, including little Amaya, sleeping in her new bed for the first time. She quite likes it here, in her pleasant room on the second floor. Of course, being a little kid, she doesn't want to sleep for long, and she's excited to get up and start her day. But, speaking of people being up, Puck, who has been here since last night, has been very restless and has been up all night playing chess by himself. For whatever reason, he just decided not to go home and just to stay over and play chess with himself. Of course, Amaya thought that he could use some company, so she decides to play chess with him, while Edith clears the table preparing for breakfast, and Sue works on a creativity point. Now, Sue needs two things in order to advance in her job. One being the creativity point, and the other being a new friend. Of course, this friend doesn't have to be a friend of Sue herself. It just has to be a friend of somebody in the house. Well, Sue has earned her creativity point, so it's time to eat. Sue's ride has already arrived. The car that will take her to the military base for the first day of training. But she's not in a hurry to go. She's going to finish her pancakes first. Of course, any real-world military outfit would certainly not tolerate that kind of attitude towards something as serious as the armed forces. But of course, in Sim World, there's no real threat of invasion or anything, and probably all they do is hang out around the base and just fire guns into targets and such like that. But Puck finally decides to rip himself away from the chessboard to join the rest of them for breakfast. Yes, it's going to be a work and school day for everyone here. And Sue's car pulls up. Well, she doesn't have a family friend, so I guess that rules out the chance of promotion, at least for now. But at least you can put in a good day's work. Well, there's a little bit of time left over before Amaya goes off to school, so she decides to wash off her plate, and while there's still a little bit of time, to have a little bit of fun and chat with her new uncle, Puck. Of course, calling him an uncle is a bit of I guess it's not really that much of a stretch, even though he's not related. He still is an uncle in the family structure. So, they play a nice little game of, I don't know what that's supposed to be, slapping each other's hands. They call it red hands. And then they chat. Samaya appears to be a very social little girl. And there's a beep of the school bus pulling next door, or outside, and guess what? Amaya and Puck are now friends. Yes, that's right. The friendship has now been secured, which means Sue might have a chance after all. Now let's skip ahead here to the afternoon, where Edith is coming home from her first day of work at the base. And wouldn't you know it, on her first day, she already did so well that she's got a promotion. It's a very wonderful thing. She's going to have to work hard to get the skills needed to keep moving up, of course. But she's happy for now. Well, she had a bit of a restless night, as did Sue. So both of them are going to get some rest. Edith now, of course, and Sue not until she gets home from her job. So, well, you obviously get a little bit of grimy after an entire day of, military drills. So she decided to take a little shower before she goes off to bed. Alright, we skip a little ways into the future here, and Sue is coming home from work in her nice car. And take a look at that. Yes, Sue is already promoted. So young, yet she's already moved so far up the business career. There's a lot further to go, though, so she's going to have to work on it a bit. But it's time for her to get some rest, too, now. Now, Amaya's grades are also moving up. It's a very exciting thing. hopefully she'll get up to that coveted A+ range before long. Well, Amaya's not quite as tired as Sue and Edith, so she's just going to have some fun and play some games. Of course, she can't directly inherit anything from her parents, obviously, but she, in a way, has still inherited Sue's love of gaming, at least in some small measure. She picks up her controller, and she joins in on a game of SSX3, which, as we all know, is actually a real game. Well, Sue and Edith have had enough of a nap, so they're going to get up. Yes, lots to do around the house. Well, Edith is going to get up first. Sue's going to get up a little bit later because her nap started later. But yes, Edith has decided that she's going to take it on herself to make sure that Amaya gets good grades in school. So, she's going downstairs to help Amaya with her homework. Amaya, of course, is building her fun levels up playing that video game. But she knows when she sees Edith that it's time to get to work. Yes, it's in the interest of everybody to get Amaya into a private school. For Edith, being a knowledge sim, it's so that she can have a superior education and learn more. Sue, being a financially oriented sim, is concerned about Amaya getting a good job in the future, and the beginning of a good job is going to a good school. So that's definitely something that both parents are very much hoping for in Amaya. So, Sue and Edith and Amaya work in a good long spurt here to get Amaya's homework done, and done it is. Which, of course, is a big boost of aspiration points for Amaya. All kids in The Sims get very happy when their homework is done, which I guess is kind of true in real life because everyone's happy when it's done. They can get on to other things. They don't have that hanging over their heads. But anyway, Sue is making dinner for everybody. She's still the most prolific cook of the three of them, but not by much. She was never quite as good as Lucy and Amanda, but she's still pretty good, and she can make hamburgers without burning the house down, which is a wonderful thing. Amaya and Edith are celebrating finishing the homework by a rousing competition at SSX3. Not sure who won there, though, but it could be either of them. They're both pretty good at the game, I would suppose. Well, it's time for dinner. Time to eat the hamburgers. Everybody likes hamburgers, even vegetarians. They just get those tofu hamburgers. But it's the same principle, or something. Well, they're all very tired, and even with their nap, Sue and Edith are both pretty pooped. Although they're very happy with their progress today, both getting promoted at their respective jobs. Sue, of course, being quite a bit further up the ladder than Edith is, but that's quite alright. There will be plenty more time for Edith to achieve the kind of successes that Sue has achieved. And Amaya is going to play with her toy box a little bit before bed, whereas Sue and Edith are going to have a little adult playtime before bed, shall we say. Yes, it's always a very good thing to do. Well, Amaya doesn't feel like playing for long, and she climbs into bed, going to sleep very happy about how the day has gone. And Sue and Edith, who, like other Sims, don't really care about wearing shoes on the bed for whatever reason, are getting intimate for the evening. Of course, they still haven't been married that long, and they still have that early flare of new life in their relationship, which is something that most couples hope never goes away. So, things get fun in the bed. Yes, it's a wonderful thing. So, the deed is done, and they rest in the bed, off to sleep. So, that's the end of this episode. Or is it? What's that sound? Uh-oh. We'd better investigate. Something is amiss in the Lincoln house. It's a robber! Oh no! He's going to see what he can steal. But good thing they installed the burglar alarm. Cops should be here any minute. Oh, and here is our cop to the rescue. Come on, tackle that burglar. Get him, get him. Oh, they fight. They fight very intensely. As the cop and the robber fight to see who will come out on top. Of course, the alarm wakes everyone in the house. Amaya comes in and watches in horror as the battle rages before her eyes. And Sue rushes downstairs too. Edith must be a very heavy sleeper. But the battle is won, and the robber is defeated and taken off into custody. So all is well. Bit of a scary little incident right there, but it all ended well because the burglar made off with nothing, and he was apprehended and brought to jail. So, they all go off to bed once again. That sound will stop soon. And they receive a nice little reward there. Yes, maybe they better invest on some locks on their doors. But anyway, everyone's off to bed, and that brings us to the real ending of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, everybody, and I will see you all later for more exciting stuff. So long.